welcome back to We Are Nacogdoches. It's the show where we get to talk to people about the things, places, events that make our town great. I'm Kelly Augustine, and I work at the Nacogdoches County Chamber of Commerce. We're glad to have you today because we have a special guest with us. It's Dr. David Creech, who is the director of SFA Gardens. And Dr. Creech, I would like to have just a moment to kind of set the stage for us today. I know that you are involved in a lot of things that make our town beautiful and that our residents and our visitors can enjoy. But today I want to focus in on something specific, and I know you and I have talked about it. It's blueberry. So, blueberry is a fruit, but I noticed when I started working at the chamber, it really didn't matter what season it is or what we're up to, what holidays we're preparing for. There always seemed to be this running thread of blueberry that just was involved in everything in our town. So I'm curious, with your experience and the years that you've been in Nacogdoches and at SFA, what do you think caused the blueberry to be such a special fruit for us?
Well, thank you for having me. Basically, the blueberry was unknown in Texas and really much of the Gulf South until about the 1960s. And I was a Texas Aggie, a young freshman in horticulture, and my boss was Dr. Hollis Bowen, and he was from New Jersey. And his interest was fruit, and he said, I think we can grow rabbit eye blueberries here. And sure enough, I was part of planting the very first blueberries in Texas, down near Buna, Texas, in southeast Texas. And then we put out a big planting at Magnolia Springs. And from that data, took 7, 8 years, we realized, oh my gosh, we can grow rabbit eye blueberries. Rabbit eye is one of many blueberries, and it's the high bush that kind of dominates the trade internationally. But rabbit eyes are high yielding and they're beautiful berries and they do well in our climate. So from that, we had our first farms in the late 1970s. One of them was here. It was out here on Highway 7 towards Center, Texas. Tom and Debbie Wild started a planting. And after that, it kind of skyrocketed to where we had over 150 growers at one time. We had a Texas Blueberry Growers Association. We had banquets. We had a lot of excitement, and we became up to about 1,200 or 1,300 acres at our peak. A lot of things have changed since then, Kelly, as far as the marketing and the pricing and et cetera. And there's a lot of competition in the world because blueberries are an international crop. They are American, they are native to America, and we need to appreciate the fact that we have all the genetics in the wild as well as in the breeding programs. But it's one that has been extrapolated all over the world. It's a very popular fruit in China. And you know why? Because parents want their kids to have good eyesight, and eyesight is part of one of the selling points. It's full of antioxidants, it's good for eyesight. So blueberries became part of the emphasis on education, and a lot of the little kids end up wearing glasses because they're always in a book. So I was really surprised in the 1990s to see how much money was being thrown at blueberries and being able to grow them in China, which they're doing now, actually. And we're part of the excitement worldwide with a national and international blueberry council, and it's all about genetics is what it is, and finding the plants that are adapted to our climate.
Well, going back to us locally here for a moment, you mentioned a farm that started. I know we've had a commercial farm in the past. It's my understanding Nacogdoches County was once the best blueberry or top blueberry producing county in the state.
We were.
And there are some pick your own farms that are going on, are still available for folks to go out during the season.
Yeah, Sherry Randall has one farm here, and basically we have some others that are nearby. But the big farm was out at SB Hyder Trust on. They have a large holding on the west side of town, and they had 70 acres of blueberries. I was involved with that. Had an acre and a half that I could do genetics at, and at the peak, we picked 1,200,000 pounds of blueberries and had a state-of-the-art processing, state-of-the-art technology. And it lasted about 20 years, and for reasons not really related to production, it kind of went the way of other things. But Industry has had its ups and downs, and climate is a part of it. Late freezes are one thing that all farmers worry about anyway, whether you're a peach grower or whether you're a blueberry farmer. When they bloom, see, we're seeing some blooms on this blueberry. When they bloom, they're susceptible to 28 degrees or less, and that's probably one of the major constraints. There are ways you can deal with it, sprinkling for frost protection, covering, heaters, etc. But it is a major constraint.
And I know I've seen blueberry plants, we're going to get to this one in just a second, sold like at the farmer's market or even at our Texas Blueberry Festival that happens in June. I do know you have to be careful on what varieties you choose to buy. There are
True.
different varieties. And you mentioned the Blueberry Place with Sherry Randall. She even has different varieties of blueberry. What would someone who wants to try their hand at growing blueberries, even if it's on their back porch, what kind of tip would you give them to follow?
Well, there's good list at SFA. You can look us up, Blueberries SFA, and it'll go to a number of publications. And there's good work that's being done with my colleagues at Texas A&M University. And so we are always doing variety trials. When a new variety comes out, I want it, and we'll try to put out 3 to 5 of those plants on local farms and also in our own plots. And then you just wait 5 to 10 years before you actually make a decision. Hey, that's really a performer, or this one it blooms too early. So it's in the rabbit eye world. It's very hard to beat Tiff Blue and Brightwell. They're dependable. They bloom a little later. But you can pick early in May. There's a lot of them that will ripen up in the early part of May that are good, and you can have some that go as late as Baldwin, which will go up into August. So you could, if you were a homeowner, have 6 or 7 plants and be able to eat blueberries from May till August.
Nice. So what is this
Well,
variety we
this is an
have?
example of a confused plant, actually, and this is a selection that we've gotten out of China. I work with the Nanjing Forestry University's blueberry breeding program, primarily because China can put 10,000 seedlings on the ground and evaluate them for 3 to 5 years. That's really hard to do when you're looking at the investment. So this is a South Moon seedling, and it's a southern high bush, and it has almost no chilling. And it's obviously confused because it's trying to bloom here. It's got a little blooms here, and it has to do with some of the stress of our recent weather. And it normally blooms in the first part of March, and then it has ripened berries up in the first part of May. So it's one of those early berries that we like, good size, good flavor, etc. And there's a number of southern high bushes. Blueberries need chilling. They need cold in the winter, certain number of hours under 45 degrees. But we do have blueberries now that have no chill. We have low chill, medium chill, and high chill. If you try to grow a high bush blueberry that they grow or a low bush in Maine, it comes here and commits suicide. It waits for the winter to really get extended, and we don't have that. We're considered a 650 to 750 hours under 45 winter. That's our average. We can be as high as 1100, and we can have 2017, Kelly, when we only had 275 hours of chilling. Peaches really were train wrecked with this, and blueberries got hurt too. They need that cold to satisfy the chilling requirement, the rest requirement, and that's something that we have to do with. There's some chemistry that we can involve to correct a little of that, but it's one of the impediments of trying to time your proper varieties and the type of crop that you're trying to grow.
Well, I'm sure it goes without saying, but just like with any grown vegetable or fruit, when you pick that fresh blueberry off the bush,
Absolutely.
it makes all the difference in the taste. It's outstanding. There's nothing like it. You know, you mentioned the Maine low bush, and our blueberry festival does draw folks from all over the world. They might be here for business work, seeing family with reunions, but when they're here, when we're having the festival and they come into the chamber, they'll mention they actually have little rakes and things that they have to use to
They
harvest
do in
their
Maine, right.
their blueberries. And I'm thinking, no, ours are on big, beautiful bushes that you can just pick at eye level.
Those are wild. The wild blueberries of Maine are low bush, and So they really go into the barrens and kind of get it to where they can get machinery through and fight the bears and the other critters that come your way. We don't have that problem with a critter. We don't have bears, but we do have a lot of problems in the industry with deer. And deer is a serious issue with blueberries.
Well, I've been really impressed to see how the leaders of our community have capitalized on the blueberry theme. I've noticed so many people just across our country enjoy blueberries. They follow us on social media. They adore the fruit, I would say. Yes, you can eat it, but you can wear it. You can paint your body. You can do all kinds
We
of
can
fun
have
things with
we
blueberries.
have a blueberry dog festival.
There you go. It's wonderful. And it makes a lot of money and shines a pretty blue light on Nacogdoches.
I think so too.
So, Dr. Creech, I know there's more we could talk about. We are running out of time at this point, but I would love to know how I could find out more and anyone else that's interested in SFA gardens and specifically blueberry growth in Nacogdoches.
Well, we do sell some advanced selections at our 2-time-a-year plant sale, but you can do SFA Gardens Facebook. We have blueberry postings there. You can Google SFA and blueberry, and there's a number of documents. I do WordPress. We have some fact sheets, and Texas AgriLife also has a good amount of information on blueberries. But we encourage everybody to eat more blueberries. 30 years ago, 12 ounces a person. We're over 2 pounds now. So if you look at per cap consumption, it's one that goes up and up and up. So we're excited about it.
That's great, and it's delicious. So thank you for tuning in to this show today. We've enjoyed talking to Dr. Creech and how blueberry makes a difference in Nacogdoches. We will see you again soon on We Are Nacogdoches.
This program is brought to you by the Department of Mass Communication at Stephen F. Austin State University, in association with the Nacogdoches County Chamber of Commerce, and with special thanks to the City of Nacogdoches.